So yes, you've managed to find Drachinifel's channel. Welcome, at least if you were looking for it. If you weren't, well, sorry, you found it anyway. Might as well stick around and find out what it's all about. So this channel is dedicated to naval history. So let's cover off a few frequently asked questions about the channel. Question 1, when do I upload and what is uploaded? So on Saturdays a 5-minute guide is uploaded, on Sundays a dry dock episode is uploaded, and on Wednesdays a special video is uploaded. The 5-minute guides are characterised as 5 minutes more or less, and let's face it, they're usually more these days, but that's roughly what you could get from that. It's effectively a short primer on a particular ship class or sometimes a particular ship. The dry dock is usually an hour-long Q&A that uses a variety of questions posed by viewers in specific videos, videos in general, and via the Discord. Once a month, the 5-minute guide, the dry dock, and the special are chosen by the Patreons on, well, Patreon, unsurprisingly enough. So what's the purpose of the 5-minute guides? Effectively to give a potted history of, as I said, a ship class or a ship. You'll get to know when it was built, when it was launched, when they were commissioned, any particularly notable facts about their design or their operational history, and the basic details of the sort of trinity of ship design in terms of speed, protection, and firepower. These are not meant to be comprehensive guides to the various ships in question. Let's face it, people can and have written entire phone book thick tomes about individual ships, let alone ship classes. So the idea of the 5-minute guides is to give you a basic working knowledge of what those ships are, and then if you want to know more about them, you can either ask or you can look further into it using that basic primer that you've been given. The dry dock as a Q&A is fairly self-explanatory, and the Wednesday specials look deeper into certain things. Now that could be individual ships, it could be battles, it could be elements of naval technology, tactics, etc. There's a whole range of various things that you can look at in the Wednesday specials, and we do. Now, to answer the two most common questions about the 5-minute guides, which is how do I get a ship onto the list for review, and what is the list for review? So in the video description of every 5-minute guide is a list of ships that are coming up for review. That list is in chronological order, so if you have a look at the list in the latest video, you'll get an idea of what's coming up in the next few weeks. That is not, however, the entire list, because the entire list actually breaks YouTube's video description character limit. If someone requests a ship to be reviewed, which you can do via the comments, then if that ship isn't already on the list, I will add it to the list, and the list in whole is kept on my PC. Just please be aware that the list, as it stands at the moment, gives about 5 to 6 years worth of more content at current production rates, so it might be a while. And finally, in terms of what I will and will not cover, as I said before, the primary focus on this channel is 1850 to 1950. However, I will review ships and events, battles, etc. that take place outside of that scope, although I prefer to go backwards in time from there. So I'll quite happily talk about Age of Sail, Renaissance, medieval, or ancient naval warfare. However, as a rule of thumb, with very, very few exceptions, I generally will not discuss ships that post-date 1950 by all that much. The reason for this is twofold. One, most ships built after that date tend to be either still in service or recently left service, which inevitably means getting drawn into political discussions and commentary on events that have happened relatively recently that may or may not be controversial, and I want to avoid that. And the other matter is simply the fact that, again, because those ships are either in service or recently out of service, a lot of their capabilities are still, at least to some extent, classified, and the idea of this channel is to try and be as accurate as possible, which it's not possible to do when information is classified, at least as long as I like staying outside of prison. So, there you have it, a very brief guide that in fact takes about 5 minutes to the 5-minute guides to warships and their associated videos. Hope you enjoy them, hope you stay, and we'll see you in another video.